welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing something a little bit differently than normal. I, for the past 6 years of my life, 6+ years of my life, have avoided almost every single Game of Thrones spoiler. And so today I decided to start reading the books. I've seen about half an episode on the TV show, and as of earlier today, I had only read like 2 pages of one of the books. I know almost nothing. I kind of know some characters' names, and that's about it. I got 2 of the books from my library, and the next 2 are coming in 6 weeks, and then the last one is supposed to be here in 2 weeks, so it's gonna be a little bit out of order. I'll figure that out later. I'm listening to the books on audiobook because I just don't have time to read those long of books. Today I actually already started. I listened to about an hour of the first one just to make sure I really liked it before I did this, and it's very good. The audio book, the narrator does a really good job. 35 hours in the first one, which really isn't that long. It's like, I think that's like 800 pages maybe. I've done audiobooks up to 55 hours long, so I can't complain about this. And I listen on ×2 speed, so I've already done an hour of my time, so that's 2 hours. So it'll be 17 hours total for me for the first one. I'm gonna hopefully read the first one in 10 days or less. That's my goal. But I have a strange feeling that I'm actually going to accomplish it a lot faster than that, because that tends to happen when something's really good. I'm about to fold some laundry and I'm gonna listen to another chapter. It's really late though. It's 10 o'clock and I have to get up early tomorrow, so one more chapter and then I'm going to sleep. So I ended up listening to like 5 more chapters because, I don't know, I just put it on and I kept going. That's what happens. I definitely think I'll be getting this done this week sooner than 10 days. Honestly, 15 hours is 3 to 5 days. I'm gonna go to bed now. I want to keep listening, but it is late and I'm tired, so I'll catch you guys in the morning. So I just got home from work and I'm gonna do a quick update. Last night when I went to bed, I had read 12% of the book. I don't know how many hours that was. I wasn't told it. I'm not really tracking hours, I'm tracking percentages. My goal is to read at least 10% every single day. And if I can't do that, then 7% will be acceptable for me to finish the book by the time it's due at the library. So 12% was over that. And then today, as of being off of work, I have read 33%. So I'm definitely on track to finish by the time it needs to be renewed and finish on my own personal goal. So I'm probably gonna listen to a little bit more tonight, although I think I'm going to take a slight break, maybe play some video games. I haven't done that in a while, and possibly do some art stuff, although I'm trying to just relax right now for a few days. Good morning. So it's actually 2 days later. Yesterday I woke up and I was extremely tired, and so I didn't feel like filming, and I really didn't feel like reading most of the day. I ended up getting through maybe 4 to 5% of the book in the evening, but not as much as I wanted to. But that's why I read more the day before. Anyways, now I'm on my way to work, and I'm hoping today I can read a little bit more. I am in training while at work, so it's a little bit more difficult to listen to my audiobook and work at the same time, but I will see what I'm able to do. So I managed to read a lot more today than I thought I was going to be able to. I was a little bit worried because I'm in training, and so half your day is you working with someone else learning how to do things. So I was at 35% done with the book this morning, and as of right now I'm 72% done. So my goal was to read 15% today, and I read 35%, just over. I have about 9 hours and 45 minutes left, which at times 2 speed is just under 5 hours. So I'm probably gonna listen to a little bit more tonight, at least finish the chapter I'm in, because I had to stop in the middle of a chapter. After that, maybe I'll listen to a little bit more. I definitely think I could push through and finish this tomorrow if I wanted to, but I'm still going to keep the mentality of I will be finishing the book on Friday. So it's a little bit dark in here because it's almost 10 o'clock and I just realized I hadn't filmed anything today. So I only managed to listen to 5% today, which puts me at 80% done. I think I have about 7-ish hours left, which at times 2 speed is 3.5 hours. So I should be able to finish tomorrow, which is my hope. I'm gonna save any of my commentary until then. I really would like to point out that a fantasy author named their character Ned. Okay, I can do it. I can do it. Today I can finish the book. I have 3.5 hours left on my time and I can do it. I believe in myself. I'm wearing the wrong shirt today. I don't own any Game of Thrones shirts. I haven't read any of it yet. So I finished. That was good. I have a lot of comments, a lot of commentary. I don't know if I will make all of them on this video, but I've kind of been, the past 2 days, yell texting at my best friend so that he could understand everything that's going on in my head. Most of my thoughts have to do with the characters. So it was a really good book. I do have to say though that I think most of the hype comes from the TV show. I really, really enjoyed this one, but it wasn't the absolute greatest thing I've ever read. So I do have to think that some of the hype comes from its TV show is one of a kind. I think also though that some of that hype comes from the fact that George wrote actual female characters in his book. And then he also just did a really good job with characters in general. They were all so human. Like they all had their shortcomings and yet almost all, minus like a small handful, were all likable. And that gets me into the next thing I'd like to say. I don't like Jamie. I hope he dies horribly. I can't wait until that happens. I don't know if Jamie dies. I know about a lot of the characters and whether or not they die or not, just because of spoilers. I don't necessarily know how they die, but I have no clue with Jamie, and I hope he goes. On the note of characters though, there's a lot I really like. There's a lot I really like and I shouldn't like because they're horrible people, but it is what it is. I think that he wrote some really good psychopaths, and as a character in a book, that's what you want, diverse characters, and you want to see unique characters that you haven't seen elsewhere. I know a lot of people hate Joffrey. I think he's hysterical. I was laughing so much. I mean, he's 12 years old and he has all of this power on him. Of course he's gonna turn out the way he does. Very enjoyable to read because he's just so different from anything I've witnessed before in books. Of course, there's so many other characters that were great characters. Dany is just absolutely the strongest character I've ever read, male or female. I give her so much credit because not only is she strong, but she's caring and she's strong in how much she cares about things. I also think that Tyrion Lannister is he's going to be on my top favorite characters of all time ever written. Such a strong, and by strong I mean intelligent. His strengths are in his ability to think, and he's so okay with that. And then you see him with his father and you're like, wow, he's dwarfed by this giant of a man. And I guess I mean that as a pun. There's Cersei and there's Catelyn and strong women who basically lead their houses, because Ned does a good job with ruling, but the king, oh god, I'm not even gonna get into the king. One of my favorite scenes was when Dany's husband crowns her brother. That was really good to read. And I knew that scene happened, but I didn't know who it happened to. So when it was coming and they started talking about the crowning and that it was coming up, I was like, oh, I know what's about to happen and it's going to be fantastic. I'm trying to talk about all of this without spoiling it. One thing I do have to say, I gotta give George props for what I would call his main character. I would argue with anyone that Jon Snow is the main boy. Like, he is. He's the Luke Skywalker of Game of Thrones. But he's way more likable than Luke Skywalker. Nothing against Luke, but he's just kind of there for his story. And Jon was so much not like that. He really went out and lived his life that was given to him. And while he's not my favorite character, I do really like him, and I like a lot of what he is, because he's also morally gray. Like, he doesn't just kind of always do the good. He's not always trying to make things good, but he stands by what he believes in, and sometimes that means he has to make decisions that aren't necessarily right. I enjoyed it. I definitely wouldn't recommend it to every person I know. There's a lot of language, sex, violence. It's very dark, although I've definitely read darker fantasy books. I can give Brent Weeks the credit of writing the darkest fantasy book I've ever read, but maybe George will come in and step up in the next few. On that note, I do already have the second audiobook. I think I'm gonna give myself a day or two of a break in between the first and second one. I'll either be back on Sunday or Monday with the second one, and that doesn't really affect you because these videos are gonna take a few weeks to get uploaded anyways. So thanks for watching, and check back in the future, and I'll have me reading, what is the second one? Is it A Clash of Kings? I'll be reading A Clash of Kings and vlogging my experience with it. So, bye.